Dear scholars from abroad and from nearby, faculty, guests and students, and family as well, I understand. Good morning and welcome to the Harry Radzyner Law School here at the Reichman University. I am delighted to open the International Symposium celebrating Anat, your recent book, as it is not the first and I trust not the last. The Rise of Mass Advertising, the Enchantment and the Cultural Boundaries of British Modernity, published last year by Oxford University Press. The rise of mass advertising is in itself a celebration. Advertising, Anat writes, encouraged on the authority of news, art, science, and religiously inflected morality. Questions about boundaries between advertising and each of those fields became momentous and gained serious attention. A richly researched and originally conceived study that recasts the history of mass advertising by attending to the pivotal role of law in differentiating adverts from news, art, science, and immoral enterprises, which served at once to disparage and legitimate the imaginative appeals and promotional ploys of advertisers. One of the main original contributions of the book lies in the fact that it corrects tendencies which have restricted the reach of other studies. It takes the reception of advertising seriously as well as its production. A recent review of the book opens with the words, "In this work, a dazzling scholarship, Anat Rosenberg provides not only a detailed and fascinating history of advertising in Britain between 1840 and 1914, but also a new way of conceptualizing the relationship between advertising, capitalism, and modernity." The book successfully recaptures what is easily overlooked or forgotten given our over-familiarity with it today, the tremendously disruptive impact of advertising, in particular the way in which it destabilized existing categories such as news, art, and science. Anat opens the book with the 1953 quote by Radziner, "There is no escaping from the advertisement, for it travels with you in the omnibuses, in the railroad carriages, and on the paddle boxes of the steamers. That is exactly the textual window a reader needs before delving into this extraordinary read." I began reading Anat's tour de force and found it relevant to my own research on the Holocaust. Nazi propaganda was one of the major ways the Nazis employed to redirect public attention, color reality with knowledge and authenticity that does not exist. Nazi Germany used mass advertising in ways never used before. The findings in the rise of mass advertising will definitely appear in my own research. The focus of the rise of mass advertising on Britain raises questions on comparative and global history. Advertising has not been consistently examined in terms of cultural legal history in any industrializing state. I agree that, as one commentator recently put it, Anat's book, The Rise of Mass Advertising, is a landmark history whose influence is likely to be felt for years to come. I normally take less than 1 minute to open conferences. However, I never avoid using occasions like this to thank faculty members for the scholarly contribution. So it took me a bit longer. Anat is a unique and excellent scholar, a scholar that does not follow the normal and expected path by legal scholars, including me, dealing with legal reforms of grand principles, or perhaps offering theoretical, dare I say in the local context, revolutions as context. As a legal historian, Anat does not find black letter law or basic theoretical questions fascinating enough and brings into the law lessons she gleans from her historical excursions. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Kanir law officers and the Berg Foundation Institute for Law and History for their support, to Corinne from the Dean's Office for assisting in organizing this conference. Finally, to you, Anat, I have a feeling that this book, although it is the second, is only the beginning. You will eventually have a shelf with books whose author is Anat Rosenberg. I am proud to be here today.